coming at you from the Natchez Trace Bridge outside of Franklin, Tennessee. Today I have 5 questions to ask yourself before launching your music career. These 5 questions are designed to help you to be intentional with your music business. The first question is, do you know your why? Why were you put on this earth? Why do you do what you do? Why do you make the music that you do? Why do you write the songs that you do? People are trying to figure out their why, and people like to support and be a part of a tribe that shares the same why that they do. And so I would encourage you to know your why, or it's going to be really hard to connect with the people who will love and crave the next song that you put out, and the song after that, and the album after that. The people that will drive hundreds of miles to see you open for whoever. You have to know your why in order to connect to others and their why. The second question is, who are you as an artist? I see so many songwriters and artists, music creators trying to be the next fill in the blank. But just like no one can be Taylor Swift but Taylor Swift, no one can be John from Skillet but John from Skillet. No one can be Carrie Joe but her. No one can be Chris Tomlin except him. No one can be you except you. So who are you as an artist? And do you know who you are? And maybe even a harder question to answer, do you feel comfortable in your own skin? Do you embrace who you are? Do you love who you are? Do you think that who you are is worth putting out there? You have to answer that question and be comfortable with that question. I encourage you, instead of trying to be the next whatever, you figure out how to be the next you, and to do that well. The third question is, what is your story? I remember working backstage on a Switchfoot and Reliant K tour and being blown away listening to John Foreman from Switchfoot connect with the audience. He has this incredible way of telling a story, the story of Switchfoot, maybe even bigger than that, the story of existence, the story of the universe, the story of life, and making every single person in that audience feel like the hero in that story. What do you have to say that's worth listening to? What is the message of your music? And I'm not even necessarily saying that your music has to have this takeaway message or anything like that, but how does your song add value to a person's life? How are you taking your why and who you are and articulating that and conveying that and communicating that as part of a narrative? I encourage you to ask, what is your message? What is your story? The fourth question to ask yourself is, how are you going to connect with the people that share your why? One of my favorite marketing gurus, Seth Godin, in his book, This Is Marketing, he talks about the difference between traditional marketing, which is thought of as advertising, and modern marketing is that modern marketing does a good job of identifying a tribe, and it makes your product, your service, the thing that you're creating, makes other people feel like they belong and that they'll miss out if they're not a part of what you do. And that's because they share your why, and who you are speaks to them, and what you're saying makes them a character in the story. Figure out where those people gather. Figure out how you are going to connect with those people. And then the fifth question to ask yourself is, when are you going to fill in the blank? When are you going to write that song? When are you going to record that project? When are you going to release that song or that EP or that album? When are you going to drive to play those 50 shows? Or 100 shows, or 200 shows, or now in this time, when are you going to make that virtual concert happen? What has been mind-blowing to me has been how a dream can feel so alive and so real in your own head, and then you wake up 15 years later and it's still in your head. I just encourage you to put legs to this dream. Show up, make it happen, make a plan. Figure out a way to get organized. Figure out a way to write down some goals, and then hold yourself accountable. Invite others to hold you accountable to make sure that you accomplish the goals that you make. Because no one cares as much about your music as you do. No one's going to lose any sleep if your dreams don't come true. Think about this. Be radically honest with yourself. Imagine yourself on your deathbed looking back on your life. Will you look back and realize that you listened to the lie, or listen to the voice in your head, or listen to the voices around you saying, well, that dream is for other people. Other people that maybe have more money, other people that have more purpose, more connections, maybe other people that have a record deal. I don't think that on that day you'll believe that. What if on that day you'll look back and you'll wish that you had taken the risk or taken the steps to be the person that you know that you were uniquely created to be? So I hope those questions were helpful for you today, that they put a fire into you, maybe give you some purpose. I love you and I care about your songs. I care about your dreams. And I want you to be who you were put on this earth to be, the person that no one else can be.